Back with an update in mid-July 2020. Just had a bunch of things to update on. And this might be the last major update until the end of the season, unless a bunch of trades go down at the trade deadline. I did make some trades and an update on, and some other stuff, signing my draft picks, international free agent signing, stuff like that. Quick update on the team. I'm 34-63. The last update I gave on the team was on June 1st. So in June, I went 6-19, and July 3-9. Last in the AL in almost everything except stolen bases. Last in almost every pitching category. So yeah, about what we want to get that number one pick again. Although the Royals are giving us a run for our money. They have 36 wins. O's have 34. Lost like 11 or 12 in a row at one point. Quick MLB update. Yankees are running away with the East. The Indians have gotten hot after struggling the first couple of months. Twins are still good. Angels, that Rendon signing, not working out too well, at least in their overall win-loss record. The wild card race, a bunch of teams in it, and the Blue Jays leading the pack. Here's the NL East, where every team was good last update. The Phillies have really tanked, though. Good Lord. I wonder if Bryce Harper's having a good year. Let's see. They still have a really good team. I wonder what their problem is. Harper's having a good year. On pace for 5.6 wins above replacement. Who knows? Runs scored, they're 12th, so their offense sucks. Runs against, they're 6th. I wonder why their offense is so bad. Anyways, not going to dig into that right now. The NL Central is horrid. 44-51 is leading the division. The Brewers are 41-54 in 3 games out of first place. So, I mean, the Orioles would only be 10 games out of first. We're 29 out in our division. Going down, the Dodgers are running away with the NL West. Padres have faded a bit, gone 2-8. They're still in the wild card race. Mets have a pretty good lead in the wild card race, and the Rockies and some teams. The Marlins still holding tough. Love it. All right, so back to the trades. Last update, I said that there was probably going to be a Chris Davis trade, and it did happen. And it was the trade with the Red Sox. It ended up being about what it was here. So I got a different first base prospect, Josh Okami. He, I think a few years ago, was like an okay prospect. Like he had, like Double-A 2018, he tore it up. 2019, he was good too, but he's been absolutely terrible this year. Now he's out since I traded for him. I don't expect much, but hey, he's got some power and a decent eye, but that contact and avoid Ks is not going to play at the MLB level. And then I got Durbin Feltman, who looks like he hopped right in to be the closer in Double-A. Looks like he'll be able to be a relief pitcher in the major leagues, I would think. I retained 70% of the Davis deal. Gave up these same prospects that I went over in the last episode. The one thing that I'm not sure about why this is happening is I now have a bunch of money for extensions next year since I dealt Davis. And my accounting player expenses, as you can see this year it's 52 projected. Next year it's 40 and then 30. So Davis's money isn't in there. I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if it's a bug in the game or what. A little disappointing, even though it makes it easier for me. I'd like it to be realistic. So that was the Davis trade. I then went and traded Tanner Scott. I got $550,000 cash and 4 prospects from the Phillies. I got this guy, Nick Maton, who, as you can see in Reading, was ripping the cover off the ball. He can play shortstop, so I've got him force play at shortstop right now. I don't know. I kind of like him. That's what my scout thinks of him. If he can become like a 55 rated shortstop, he's got a chance to at least maybe be, an average shortstop. So I really like that. And then I got JD Hammer, who looks like, he hopped right in and is like my setup guy in Norfolk now. He's 26, but and then David Parkinson, who is came in to be my number 3 starter in Norfolk. Looks like he might be able to be like a fringe major league rotation piece. And then De Los Santos, who is out. He's out like the rest of the season with an arthritic elbow, but he was having a pretty decent season. 9.4 Ks per 9. 0.7 WAR, 3.18 ERA. His WHIP is good. So we'll see what he does. He'll probably be in Norfolk next year. And then there were a bunch of major league trades so far since it's July now. Atlanta got Markakis back. They gave up Sean Newcomb. The A's traded Liam Hendricks. Boston got Brad Hand and Jake Bauers for Kevin PR, and then turned right around and traded Jake Bauers to the Reds. Weird. Let's see what else is going on here. Blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Mike Minor went to the Braves. And so yeah, some recognizable names in there. So those are the trades. And then we'll go to my draft picks. I think one of the last things I broadcasted was the draft. And I was worried about the bonuses and being able to sign everybody. I'm going to be able to sign most guys. I'm going to lose a couple, but Asa Lacy was my first pick who wanted that $9.5 million bonus. I got him for $9 million. And he hopped right in and became the number 7 prospect in the majors. Now, most other teams hadn't signed their first-round pick yet, so he's not going to be that high next year. But that's pretty awesome. I mean, I have 2 top 10 prospects now. And he's made 3 starts, as you can see here, 2 good ones, and he got bombed once, and then he pitched in the Futures game at the All-Star break. I'm probably just going to bump him up because of his ratings are high enough, and he's 21. Probably going to bump him up to short season A-ball for the rest of the year, so then he can start next year in A-ball. So he's signed, and then Bowser was the supplemental first-round pick. I signed him, and he's doing great for an 18-year-old in rookie ball. And I've signed most of my guys. If I go here, negotiate with draftees, I'm not going to be able to sign these guys. I don't have the money left. Mitchell Verberg, he's already pretty decent. He could probably hop right in and pitch in Double-A. But he's a reliever. I'm not that upset about drafting him. And these 2 guys I knew when I drafted I probably wasn't going to be able to because they were asking for demands even though they're outside of the first 5 rounds. And my scout really liked them, so I just drafted them to see what would happen. I can't sign them though. So I'm going to lose 3 guys, whatever. 5th round pick. I signed the rest of them. I signed the top, 5 guys I drafted because I had 2 in the first round if you count the supplemental round. So I'll take that. I will take that. And now I know how the draft works different this year, and I'll be sure to budget more money next year for it. International free agent signings. So this isn't too realistic to real life. Basically, I don't know, I'd guess like 20 guys get released and you have $5 million to sign on them. It's not like in the majors where you're going to sign a ton of guys and, there might be a couple blue chip guys. It's a very scaled down version. So what I do is you have a $5 million cap, and what I do is I identify the best player available and I just offer him $5 million right off the bat. And the reason I do that is because in other times playing the game, if you try to lowball them, or even like if they're asking for like $4 million or $3 million, and you offer them that, eventually the demand's going to go up. Eventually the team's going to offer them $5 million, and the first team to offer them $5 million, you can't outbid that team. So they'll be like, hey, the Yankees offered me $5 million. You want to try to top it? And you can't. So whoever offers $5 million gets him. So what I do is I just find the best prospect and I offer him $5 million and I get him. So I signed this guy, Leo Martez. Pretty excited. He's a shortstop. I mean, obviously his position ratings suck now. He's 16. He's going to be in my international complex for, let's see, he'll be 17, getting close to 18 next year. We'll see. I might put him in rookie ball next year or wait a year after that. But with those defensive ratings, he'll be able to, I think, be a pretty good infielder. I don't think he'll be an elite shortstop, but he'll be definitely fine, and hopefully this bat develops. His gap power is a little low, but I'm not that worried about it, especially with this eye and discipline and avoid Ks with the contact rating being a little low. Man, if he panned out, he would be, if he could have a good fielding shortstop who could hit that well. But, being that he's 16, he's probably, I don't know. I think I've had international prospects come up at 20, maybe 21 sometimes, if all things go well. So let's see. A couple other things to update on. I did promote some guys who were doing well at different levels, which I'll do sometimes throughout the season. I promoted Adley Rutschman at the beginning of July promoted him to Bowie. He's played 8 games, 142 OPS plus. So, the computer still thinks he can go up another level. So he's there. One major bummer is Grayson Rodriguez. He was out. He had that shoulder injury at the last update. He came back, made one start and got injured his shoulder again, and he's got shoulder tendonitis. So, he missed 6 weeks with a rotator cuff strain. It was at least 6 weeks. And then now he's going to miss another 6 weeks with shoulder tendonitis. So, he's been awesome when he's pitched. Only 10 starts, 1.12 ERA. So kind of a bummer there. Pretty much a lost season for him. Not lost, but, only 10 starts sucks. And I was planning on having him pitch like half the season at Bowie. And now I guess he'll just start next season at Bowie. So a bummer there just because he's such a top prospect. And one thing they added to the game this year is they update the minor league rankings and top prospect rankings after the draft. Now, again, a lot of teams have not signed their top picks yet because you have 2 months to do it. So I jumped from 10th to 4th. I'd imagine that's going to change. And I imagine Lacey's not going to be as high as 7th next year. But, to know that among all the existing prospects before this year's draft that he was 7th already, that's awesome. Grayson Rodriguez got bumped up. He bumped up from 68 to 32. DL Hall wasn't in the top 100. He's up to 68th now. That guy drafted Bowser, came in at 118th, and if he keeps hitting that way, he's going to be higher next year. Austin Hayes is having an okay season. Rylan Bannon's having a real nice season at AAA for me. 112 OPS plus. That's good relative to what I was expecting, I guess. He might be able to make a run at the roster next year. Toro, Abbott, Diaz, Mountcastle's hitting the ball well. Gunnar Henderson's hitting the ball all right, I think, still. 107 OPS plus. So anyways, that's kind of a quick overview of where the minors are at right now. And I don't know if I'm going to make more trades at the deadline. I might if I get a good offer. The one thing that I am worried about is most of the prospects that are going to be offered up are going to be guys who are going to be eligible for the Rule 5 draft in the winter. So, while not all of them are going to get chosen, you have to know that you're trading guys that you might not be able to protect all of them. So I might, there's some guys on my roster I'd like to trade, like Nunez, maybe DJ Stewart because he's kind of older, not a great fielder. Santander, I think I'll hold on to. Might trade Ruiz. So I'd like to trade some of these dudes, but unless I get really good offers for them around the deadline, because I've looked around and the offers aren't great. Like there's nothing that I can't wait on. I'll probably wait till the winter to deal them. So if I make deals, I'll do an update at the trade deadline. If not, I'll probably just do an end of season update just because I don't expect there to be much more action the rest of the season for me. So there's where we're at. Like I said, if there are major things along the rest of the way, I will update. But, I don't anticipate doing much more the rest of the year because I'm just here to lose games, secure that number 1 draft pick, and then and I don't want to overfill my 40-man roster, protecting the guys with the Rule 5 draft next year. So that's it for now. Well on our way to beating our 49-win projection, and I'll be back with an update at some point.